Welcome everyone to the Master Vox, where today we have a riveting tournament gameplay from the monthly tournament from the Steel Division Bootcamp. Introducing the players and the sides, we'll have the Grand Slam. Graham, you mind taking it away?
Yeah, no problem. On the left-hand side here in the blue, we have Jaapaasa, that's how I'm going to pronounce that, playing Muta, and then on the right, we have Shkodder playing as the Polish Home Army. So both players opening up here with recon fighters. That's pretty standard. Though they are more multi-role ones. We have the IL-2, which used to be like the best recon playing the game once upon a time, and then we also see the HS-129. So really interesting matchup here as we see these two recon planes. Okay, that's funny.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. The one thing is I will say is the IL-2KR I still think is one of the best recon planes. It's even better than the Spitfire in my opinion, just because the ability for it to like actually stay on target with its cannons.
Yeah, it used to be really good, like almost broken at one point in time in this game's history. I think nowadays I would prefer I think the Croatian bomber is really good. The one that you can get, is it Rosselsprung?
Rosselsprung gets it, yeah.
Yeah, I think that one's really solid. And even Fedunkin with the S100, that's SU6.
Oh yeah, with his bombs. Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah, both really nasty. We see here real quick, an anti-tank gun did go down for Shkodder in the middle. We see the Hotchkiss trying to set up along with some sniper teams. And I think this is actually a really interesting divisional matchup here. Two very infantry-focused decks that really are denied armor until the middle portion of the game.
I really think that what we're going to see here is a concentration up north in that little forest there, and then whoever wins there is going to start pushing in the town. And you're right, because I really like this concept of a game where it's like two super heavy infantry divisions with like no armor whatsoever. We're going to see Chwat probably pop up, but that's about it for the Polish at the beginning.
Yeah, and we actually see Jaapaasa here with a really early 100 mil buy. Muta has a pretty amazing artillery park, in my opinion. It's sometimes hard, I think, to get out. Now, he is a Maverick player going against Shkodder, who is balanced, so I'm curious to see. But obviously, this front feels really static. Neither player has like heavy armor or off-map that can kind of like create any dynamic, I think, moves early on in the game. So I think it actually makes a lot of sense to grab a little 80-point 100 artillery piece and just start get some damage in.
Especially with that 100mm being radio. And we have the Venatori Calarzi, the sniper team down by the
sniper team.
Yeah, the Pack 75. So it's giving that radio to the 100 mil. So if he can start denying the 20 mils, and think about this, Polish Home Army only has like 6 AA pieces, and that's it until the Soviet 37s come in.
Yeah, and it's not like Muta necessarily has like a huge air tab or like an amazing air tab, but I mean, any plane's probably better than no plane, and with that such a low amount of AA, you're right. If you can start sniping them early, as we see, that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's in a very good hit right there. You'd look for a fallback order from Shkodder to maybe try and see if he can save it, but it might be dead because that fire rate's actually really good on that 100 mil there for the Romanians.
Yeah, the Romanian 100 mil is one of the better artillery pieces for that mid-range price point. Ooh, it just took out that 20 mil. But I want to point out that the 60mm mortar, one of my favorite artillery pieces up north, is actually going to turn that tide in the infantry fight if we do see Jaapaasa push over, which we are. Ooh, we get to see that 60mm mortar do pinning, because it doesn't need to kill, it just needs to pin.
Yeah, and right here you see the Grupa Strozumi. I know for all the Poles, I just butchered that right there. The Muta trying to go in, the Venatori to Muta trying to engage them. This is a pretty good fight there for the groupie, but if the mortar's on target here, which we're looking for it to, would be nice. Maybe some smoke, honestly, wouldn't have been bad from the Pioneer Assault to get them up close and personal, because they'll just go to town on a lot of this. Though we do see more Molotov infantry for Shkodder coming in to reinforce it, so I think he probably has a slight edge. But the 60mm mortar could be decisive.
Yeah, and I think what ended up happening there was the insert Eastern European SMG here that has 150 meters instead of everything else having 100, actually kept that unit into the Yellow Forest and denied them the ability to use their flamethrower because that 50-meter difference. So it was just a little lack of micro on Jaapaasa there, but we are seeing.
Yeah, you lost 2 infantry squads there, which is you really don't necessarily want to happen at this stage early in the game. These infantry fights in 2 infantry decks, where it's clear that you're going, a couple of like key spots will decide the game. Whoever's maintaining his infantry advantage, and this probably sounds, common sense, but you really want to be maintaining those squads. Like when they're stunned, you want to follow them back and get them out of there, versus having to have complete wipes, which is what we see happening here.
And what we're seeing here is, the Ju-87D3, but we're seeing two mortars come in from Shkodder for the 160 mil, and the mortars coming in for Shkodder are the 81 mil, so they're going to hit that little bit more of a punch and have that more of a pinning effect. And we are seeing the infantry advantage stay in Shkodder's side, but Jaapaasa is reinforcing.
Yeah, but he didn't put an evac order for his Ju-87. Oh, really lucky there. I'm surprised Shkodder... I mean, there is the one Hotchkiss. Maybe... I'm surprised he recalled there. I really think his Yak 9 could have got the kill. Just so Jaapaasa actually kind of, I think, lucks out a little bit right there, getting that Stuka out, because it probably should have died.
Yeah, but he's not going to luck out when we have Molotov infantry in the forest here. The forest is not speaking Vietnamese, it is speaking Polish at this point.
Yeah, and that's going to be really hard for him to deal with as he keeps trading out these squads. The Venatori de Munza is an amazing... I think it's one of the, pretty amazing infantry squad, especially with the vet curve. That you can get a really nice vet curve, I think, with them. But they're not going to win using their MG being in the heavy force. You want them in the light force there, heading that infantry as it comes across, and you use your Pioneer Assault, which is an amazing CQC infantry squad for that heavy duty work. Right here, I think the Poles have an advantage, especially if they're in Molotov range.
Yeah, and what I think about the Venatori de Munza is they're a Panzer Grenadier like equivalent. And so had he had those in the green forest along the yellow forest, he would have been able to engage more effectively with those two MG42s and that higher vet curve versus these like thrown together cobbled Polish units, but that do have Molotovs though,
Yeah, I do think that, and they also have more HP, right, than a Panzergrenadier squad at 12, right? Isn't?
Yeah, because a Panzergrenadier is 10, I think.
10, yeah.
But a big save here for Jaapaasa is saving that Lieutenant VM to maintain the veterancy curve in this area.
Yeah, because you get 8 per card, I believe, with the non-anti-tank equipped Munzas at one vet. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty easy to get them up to 2 vet. But we do see the mortar trying to engage now. The mortar play hasn't been great here by Jaapaasa. A little late a few times, though. He could get a surrender here, I think, if he was...
No, because the Partizani...
Yeah.
I'm not butchering that Polish there. Woo!
No, that's the one problem with like some of the more obscure decks is that they're very much embrace their natural language in all of the units. And as an English speaker, sometimes it's just like, yeah, I'm butchering this. I don't know that unit right there.
Yes, if we do have a Polish viewer out there, please phonetically tell me how to say this command squad's name.
Oh, another great shot there by that 100 mil. It might get another 20 mil, which is just really smart by Jaapaasa. Have his HS-129, spot the 20 mil locations, then let your 100 do the back cleanup, and yeah, right there, another. So it's already killed 2 AA pieces.
Yeah, and that's 40, 80 points. It may be not a lot in points, but it's a lot for the fact that that's all the availability that the Polish home army has. So we're going to have to start seeing a lot more Yaks come out. And at the same time, all Jaapaasa has to do is put 20 mils out because Yaks are paper thin.
Yeah, we do see, though, that Shkodder's getting a little aggressive on the southern portion of the hill. He wins an infantry fight right here with mortar support, killing one Venatori squad, pushing the other one back. They're reducing the debt to Nuti, whatever, the 15 HP Molotov squad. And R35 is trying to kind of get some action in here, but that the anti-tank squad that the Poles get that has both a Panzerschreck and the satchel charge can be hard to deal with.
Oh yeah, no, the Polish home army has some of my favorite infantry, like the Sabatowski squad having the Panzerschreck and that, along with the fact that all he has to do is move these Ognochisis, the Polish Molotov squads up, and then he'll be able to throw those 100-meter Molotovs as soon as he makes contact into that forest line.
Yeah, Shkodder moving his mortars up north to trying to get counter batteried manually there by the 100 mils. But good job on him moving them to keep those mortars alive. We do see another infantry fight happening up in the north. This is basically kind of like where I think the majority of the action's happening, at least from Jaapaasa's point of view. Yeah. Another Ju-87 coming in. You'd look to see if that Yak 9 will come out. No, he's not going to come out. So this bomb drop here, getting rid of that MG42 squad, important, but I don't think there's quite enough follow-up yet here for Jaapaasa to win that spot.
Well, the other good thing about the Grumpy or Groupie Stromovsky is the fact they have 4 MP44s, and those are fantastic firing from that green to yellow cover.
Yeah, that heavy to green transition, heavy to light transition those picking that engage is really important. Shkodder's been around since the beginning of the game, so you would expect him to really be able to understand that and handle it well, which he has completely. Though a nice dodge there from the Molotov by Jaapaasa. And if he can get this, you want to stop him on the move here, but if he can get back to his forest line, keep this squad alive, he can probably still delay any... I mean, maybe. I think Shkodder probably could bully this. The big problem would be that R35.
Yeah. And he doesn't have a Panzerschreck in that area, so that R35 is just going to be able to do whatever it wants.
It's the one time in its history where it's kind of like top dog.
The R35 is finally the heaviest piece of armor in an area. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely currently in this match. And we see another Stuka coming out here, so I think you get one card of 3 of those Ju-87s. They're not necessarily the best one, but they do have a 250, which definitely can hit hard on singular infantry squads. So, and they're only 65 points too, which is really cheap. We see a bomb drop there. That was a miss though. No HP done with a fallback order as well.
Yep.
Heavy artillery starting to hit that position. So you're going to look to see if Jaapaasa gets in there. I still think though that using the Munta as the front line for those pushes is harming him. Like he needs, I think more assault. Like I'd almost use the assault and then the Tourney, I don't know how to pronounce that.
The Tourney? Yeah.
The Tourney, and then have your Vanatories just right behind all of them to have the heavy damage.
Yeah, well, you can have like a defense in depth where it's like the Venatori are along that green, so that regardless, once the Pioneer Assault or the Danuti die, you still maintain that presence and you still have a decent like ability to hold back any counterattack push that he has. Because otherwise, these Venatori Damuta are running into a satchel charge.
Yeah, that's not what you want at all. We do see they're getting up close here, going ahead and fight the leader. And the recon satchel infantry. Satchel's going out. This is going to go ahead and do some pretty heavy damage there. Yeah, plus he moved it too late, so getting the extra penalty there because it was damage on them while moving. So that squad's getting hurt. We do see the R35 now coming up to engage as a mass amount of infantry is being dumped here by Shkodder.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, with your Jaapaasa, it might not be worth the investment because we are now, a couple minutes into B.
Yeah, that is kind of true. At the same time, though, that groupie is got that Panzerfaust. That is the heaviest anti-tank in this area. Like, I never thought I'd say that the biggest thing in this area is one Panzerfaust for a side.
I mean, that's all he really needs, I think. I mean, we also do see the 152 being brought out here by Shkodder into the middle. You'd probably look for that to drop in the middle in the first big push here by Shkodder, because now you're starting to see, it's... Home Army is a very phase-locked deck. I mean, so Muta kind of can be too. So some of the Soviet heavy pieces are starting to making themselves felt a little more in this match.
Yep. And we are seeing that Yak 9 go after these Ju-87, so let's see. He needs to...
got a couple 20 mils in the Hotchkiss, though. It should be...
Yeah.
Oh, nice kill, though.
Yeah, I think he needs to get 2 kills with the Yak 9 to make it an effective trade, but again, denying Jaapaasa the ability to use any Air Force is worth it.
Yeah. If he can shut down the bomber play and just at least keep it status quo for a while when it comes to the air, I would consider that a win, especially because he's so light on AA for his deck.
Yeah, and I'm going to point out in the south we have Jaapaasa pushing in with actual Pioneery and Pioneery Assault into this forested area, and what we're seeing here is Shkodder just doesn't have the shock infantry in that little forest there to hold him back. In all honesty, the Salvatowski.
No, he should clean this up.
Oh, that was beautiful with that.
That was a really nice shot. Though he can push these Pioneering forward anyways and get pretty much a wipe right here. Because that's something interesting about Jaapaasa's deck is that he does bring his Pioneers in B, so he kind of splits up some of his CQC infantry, and really it feels like he probably could have used them to great advantage in A. Whereas up north, that position is collapsing because there's just too much infantry. I mean, look how much Shkodder has here. It's all basically CQC infantry, and these Romanians are kind of getting gunned down to the last man.
Well, the crazy thing about
drops too middle.
Oh, there's off-map dropping. Ooh. But the crazy thing about the Polish Home Army is like a lot of their infantry are the what are they called? The Molotov Polish troops. You can actually make a lot of your infantry those Molotov Polish troops, and then have that entire thing just be Molotov infantry.
Yeah, it's a unique deck in terms of infantry tab.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of working in this situation because Munta is a little unique as well. But Shkodder's just taking better fights for his infantry composition. Like, at the end of the day, I think that's really what you're seeing. A lot of this, even though Jaapaasa is up 14-10, he has ticked Shkodder down almost halfway. The big thing is we haven't seen a double tick, and when you're Maverick versus Balance, you really want to be living in the double tick for periods of time. Now, obviously, the timing of when his full weight hits isn't going to be for a few more minutes. So definitely hasn't been bad. Keeping a tick the entire game is obviously where you want to be no matter what. Yeah. But I'm not quite sure he's traded very well.
So this leads into an interesting conversation when you're dealing with like Maverick versus balance, and it's like, do you trade for points or do you trade for territory? And I think right now, what we're seeing is Jaapaasa not giving a damn about the points and just trying to trade for territory. Because what we see is the center portion, he's pushed into that little town, he's grabbed that flag. And if you look down south, he's completely collapsed the down south, with the R-35 again being the heaviest piece of armor on the field down there. Jesus.
Well, south is better for him because allows him to better use the better ranged infantry that he has. Now, he did use his pioneers very well. There's no doubt there. Though we do see more of the whatever's coming in
the Molotov poles.
Yeah, the Molotov poles coming in. But they're not a good long range unit. Like, that's just not what they're good at. So if he just better position some of his infantry here, I think he could really do a lot of damage. I mean, even this R-35, though he probably does suspect there's an anti-tank gun in front of him somewhere. We see more Partizani coming up. Yeah, they're kind of being invested here into the middle as well.
And the Partizanski are good because they're just basically German grenadiers. But at the same time, though, I think that we need to see right now Jaapaasa put like a Pack 40, just something to cut off this reinforcement road right here between that MG42 and those upcoming Partizanski, just to try to cut that off, to force those longer ranges.
A Polish bomber here coming out, funny enough, a Polish bomber, I think, being used to blow up Poles by the Romanians. Dropping right there. A decent drop. I think if he had been able to hit some of the Partizanis and transport, that would have been great. Same time, 152 dropping off map to the southern town portion, which was counterattacked and taken by Jaapaasa. Though this 20 mil is really stopping his counterattack there because he's not able to get in range. He's going to need to drop the sabotage unit to go and get that Panzerschreck into it so he can keep advancing.
Yeah, and that Panzerschreck, once that pops out and kills that SDKF 250/9, he'll be able to push into there because of that massive pin.
And now the double tick has happened, and this is really important. The double tick is happening towards the end of D phase as the full weight of the income advantage is really being felt by the Maverick player. And so now you really expect Jaapaasa to start to apply pressure across the board. Because there is a moment here, I think, where he can probably just win this game outright. It's the big thing with Maverick players is, are you going to take advantage of that moment? And so that's what I'm kind of looking for here.
Yeah, and we're going to see that Panzerschreck come in, and then it just turns into Polish on Romanian infantry, but the pins, that's going to be the turn. Though at the same time, I'm going to point out that Jaapaasa has 2 R-35s and a Flame Panzer B2 and a 20 mil moving up to reinforce that center. But oh my lord, look at that off map in the center town, and then we have a Polish pushing through with Partizanskis.
Yeah, more off map here, but that R-35 can come to stabilize. There is 2 Hotchkisses watching the road along with snipers. HS-129 also sees everything here. I don't think there's a lot of danger in the middle right now. There's been a lot of off map dropped for not much gain here, and there's even some health left on these infantry squads. I think that Jaapaasa is pretty safe here in the middle. These Partizanis don't scare me if I'm him. Armor's coming onto the field. I mean, the Flame B2s are out. Ju-87s are kind of running free here. Like, did the Yak-9 die and we just miss it? Because I haven't seen it in a while.
It honestly might have, just because there's mobile wagons on the field, and those mobile wagons will turn that into Swiss cheese real quick. Now, I'm going to point out that Jaapaasa has effectively taken the north and the south and held in the center while pushing in that smaller town. So he's got a really good board control right now, and we have to see Shkodder really try to turn that around.
Yeah, the north counterattack was very well done. We didn't necessarily watch it, too much, but lots of 20 mils. He finally got the better, I think, unit composition, having pioneers, having the having the Molotov infantry.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if anything, he could siphon off some of those pioneers now and move them to the middle and counterattack middle. He's very much in the driver's seat of this game. It felt very even for a significant portion, but a couple decisions by Shkodder and then a better unit composition from Jaapaasa the past 10 minutes has really put him in a good position. We see multiple cheap anti-tank guns from Shkodder coming up to try and stop these 20 mils, but these 20 mils have just kind of run amok a little bit. I mean, he could even get more aggressive with them. He could flank them left here along the ridge line of the town and do damage.
And what we're seeing right now is I think that Jaapaasa just had the initiative.
Chewat about to get blapped right now.
Well, no, the only piece of armor.
going in. H129. Oh, he missed. I think he lost sight of it. He did.
Yeah, he lost sight of
The
sight.
Yak 9 comes in now. We haven't seen him in. I really don't know if it's a new one or not. I'm really curious. But he's gonna fly right over these 20 mils in that paper thin plane. He's gonna get lucky here. Yeah, he's already got shot up a little bit there.
But we're seeing the smoke trail and that mobile.
Yeah, he's smoking. He might go. But
he's out. He's out.
Yeah.
He ain't coming back in.
The Napalm IL-2 doing some damage up north, but not enough. I don't think. We do see those 37 mils have taken up positions here, trying to push back the armored cars, which he has done. Yep. But I think if you're Shkodder, I really don't know. I mean, you might be able to get back in there. Oh, a T-34 coming. Okay, that's interesting.
You just got to stop that double take because it goes from 6 minutes and 1 second to 12 minutes, right? Yeah, if he can take any one of those flags, and that's a big thing in that Maverick versus balanced gameplay. If the balanced player can recapture down below double tick, it turns into a real interesting grind because all of that initiative that Jaapaasa in this game has established starts getting flipped as he's trying to reinforce where Shkodder is actually pushing.
Yeah, and we're looking here as we see more of the Romanian Air Force try and make its presence felt on the map, which is, I mean, it's kind of like what you're looking to see here. Ju-87's coming in, the PLZ's coming in. Actually, the PLZ going for a 20 mil strike. Kind of interesting to see that. We'll see if he gets the bomb off here.
Oh, but that's going to hit a nice little... Oh, no, that's not a staging area yet, but it's going to be a staging area.
Yeah, it could have been great. Oh, it doesn't get the... Doesn't actually kill. He kills the Browning machine gun. It doesn't actually kill the AAP, so maybe not quite the strike I would have gone for. He also needs to resupply his artillery, which is starting to run dry. One piece has ammo, but the other two are running out. And 3's a lot, so I think also middle. There's a missed opportunity here right now in the middle for Jaapaasa. I think he could just, even an uncoordinated push right up the gut here, breaks open this middle.
Kind of what he's doing right now.
Yeah, it looks like he's starting to make it happen. Because, yeah, he only has to hold for 4 minutes, but you really don't want Shkodder getting it back to a single take.
Yeah, and that Panzer IV coming in there, that's going to help a lot because it has the...
That's a Tiger tank now.
Yeah, it's basically 2 MG... And plus it's got 2 MG-34s, or MG-36... Yeah, 34s. And that HE, so it's going to be able to provide that infantry support. And we're also having the Venatori de Muti outside of the town, so they're going to be outside of that 100 meters, so they're going to be able to continuously fire with their machine guns.
Yeah, and right here, the town fight is where I expected Munta to be at its best here. Not that it doesn't have, because it does have good CQC infantry, but creating the better, the more medium range engagements in the infantry battle was always going to suit Munta better. And right here, you just see, like, the Partizani, I mean, there is a lot, granted, there's a lot of fire support here. A lot of sniper teams. I mean, what are we back in, 2022? 20 mils, Flame Panzers coming up, I mean, there is a lot of support here, so it's not just the infantry tide. 2 T-34s are coming up here to try and stem the tide, which could actually do some damage here. That could, one Panzer IV-H isn't going to be enough to probably kill both, depending on the engagement.
But one thing that we're going to see Shkodder run into is the famous Romanian division sniper rifle span. 2 snipers per one of those squads. It's just going to pin any infantry he puts out there, and at that point, like, you're just losing the infantry health points. And then once you lose those infantry, then the T-34s are blind as a bat.
Yeah, we see the Soviet infantry actually down south really making its presence felt. Very close to getting back a flag there. Though Chewat's engaged with the... that's actually the Hungarian...
yep, that's the Hungarian AT gun.
Hungarian piece right up there, yeah. So looking to see if he could... Obviously, he got hit. Oh, and he gets killed there from the heat. Ooh. I'd imagine that's what got it. That's
well, no,
big kill.
AP shells aren't turned off, so that means that the AP shells with their 60 mil penetration actually got Chewat.
That's insane. I don't even... What are the odds of that?
Or no, it's the heat shell because...
No
the heat shell's like going down. Yeah. It's always weird because like the Tehran 2 will fire AP before heat, but this one will fire heat before AP, and it's just like, ah!
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, you used to say just turn off the AP shell.
Yeah.
Up north, though, Shkodder did get back on that flag point. More infantry trying to hold it here, though the 20 mils are making some moves, And the Venatori de Care, which I'm surprised we haven't seen one out yet. I mean, maybe not too much because there's not a lot of armored vehicles, but the Venatori de Care is a very nasty unit in the AT tab that you get as the Romanians. That should be able to pick off this T-34 and then even a slight infantry dump. But this has gone back to 1311. Shkodder feels like he's starting to stabilize, and the moment may be slipping here. Jaapaasa needs to keep the pressure on, I think, in the middle.
And I think that up north, what we're going to see is that this T-30 or this Dakara needs to kill that T-34 to prevent it from losing more of those 20 mil vehicles, because the 20 mil vehicles are holding the poles back. Yeah,
and this infantry's going to get wiped here. We do have more pioneers coming in along with another leader. I mean, I might even bring the Hotchkiss truck up just to do damage. Yeah, very nice snipe right there. You look to see, you really don't want the Venatori de Care, though, engaging with just their rifles at that range.
Yeah, the Venatori Dakara is one of those fews that I'll actually just turn the 2 rifles off and just not care.
Yeah. No, I think that's a smart move. Like, if they have a good SMG, obviously they have both a Panzerschreck and their satchel grenade, their grenades that they can throw. So I would much rather them not shoot their rifle, because shooting their rifle right there here has just got the unit basically killed.
Yeah, it did get the unit killed.
2 more T-34s coming as well.
Yep, the T-34s are going to be the tigers of the poles over here, because the Romanians had nothing to deal with it other than that Venatori Dakara squad.
Yeah, and we see here, it just feels like Jaapaasa's running out of momentum. Now, with 4 minutes left at a single tick, it's possible, that's fine. It's entirely plausible. If you're him, you really, I think I'd be pushing. I don't think I'd be stopping here. I think I would continue, especially on the hill, where, hey, we have caster's vision, but there's only 2 MGs holding that other flag on the hill right there. Drop your artillery where he's at, right? Don't let him come up that hill, and then just finish off that. And we do see, some Munta and some Pioneer. He's starting to make moves there, and I think that's the right decision.
Yeah, he heard you, and he was like, all right, I'm in, boss, and then just went for it, because that was too perfect.
Because the North, I'm not sure how much longer the North's going to go for him. The Care did live. He hasn't got his 47 mil, though, in a good spot there. He could have put it in a great spot along that hill line, but he's probably worried about it being spotted by the Soviet squad down there below. South, Shkodder really isn't pushing, which maybe he should be at this time, just trying to create, put some pressure across the board here. But Panzerschreck firing, getting the kill there in the middle, that's huge. So it is 14-10. What flag is stopping it? It's the Northern flag. The Northern flag's now switched. If he gets it a double tick, this game's over.
Yeah, no, like 3 minutes go into a minute 30. Ooh, it's going to be real rough for Shkodder. But I like you said, he does have the initiative in some spots, but it's can he push through? Just like look in the town below the center. He's got a single 1 health point Venatori de Munta holding that point. But at the same time, do you really want to push across that with all that support equipment coming through?
Yeah, we do see a bomber drop coming in here into the northern position. That's going to go ahead and stun a lot of that infantry, but not kill it. And there really isn't a good answer here. I mean, he does have the 1 Venatori de Care squad, but he let it shoot and is down 2 HP. Also some friendly fire there from the artillery, keeping some of his Pioneers stunned as well.
Oh yeah, it is pitting his own Pioneers at this point, because I'm looking at the hitbox that it could have.
Then off map coming in once again. The other card of off, being used. That's doing really good damage here in the middle. Shkodder, knowing he's playing really close with the time here, 2 minutes, he needs to get to 12-12. He's just going to run this infantry probably right down the middle here.
He's got to run
it. That B2 needs to move to the middle, like right in the street, like holding the street essentially, because you don't want. Oh, but Shkodder is actually it's peeled off. He had an order there. Every second. Oh, and there goes the switch right there. 40 seconds. Yeah, that might be it right there.
Yep, that's probably gonna be it there.
Yeah, he reclaimed that northern flag just barely. Pioneer trying to hold on to it. It's so close.
He's trying to push through this right now. He's like, I swear I pinned them all.
If he had kept them going, he could have ran through. Now it's too late because they've become unstunned. There was a moment there where he could have got them. We do see it's back to 14-10. I think it's too late.
Yep, Shkodder calls it.
Yep, Shkodder calls it.
That was a great game by both sides, and I loved seeing both of those like heavy infantry divisions playing on this map.
Yeah, it was very interesting to watch it out too. I would say they're probably not super popular in terms of competitive play. Definitely at the bottom of the barrel, I think, for both factions. Obviously, I'm a little out of the meta, but I don't see anything there that would. Munta's not the best Romanian division, and the Polish Home Army isn't even the best Polish division in the game. So, But it was very interesting to see the two throw down on Orsha East, which is a great. I mean, it's not obviously the most balanced, but I think it's a fun map. It's engaging. It's way better than any of the river maps.
Oh, so, Jesus! Don't remind me of the river maps. Ooh.
Yeah, so I do think that both players clearly of high skill, and it was a great one to watch.
No, I agree incredibly, and we're going to try to get you guys some more casts coming through from the Steel Division boot camp with their monthly tournament going on, so I will have a link in the description to join that if you so choose. And with that, we're going to try to get you some more casts coming up weekly, but with the summer...
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, what he said. Like and subscribe. Just try to keep growing the channel there. If you do like the content and want to see me keep making more. So with that, any closing comments there, Graham?
No, great game to both players. Looking forward to casting. I love casting high-level gameplay. I think it's really interesting to watch, especially in real time when you can watch someone like, Jaapaasa literally changed how he was organizing his infantry halfway through the game to get a better unit composition, and it was decisive for him in multiple situations. So I thought that was awesome to watch. Both players made it very enjoyable.
Yeah, and at the same time, I really enjoy seeing like how the players utilize their support equipment to try to like maneuver with the support equipment to get that like leg up on their opponent. Maybe they have less shittier infantry, maybe they don't, but using that support equipment always gives them that win, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, you saw some real combined arms today, which is always fun to watch.
Yep. And with that, we will see you guys in the next cast. All right, bye, y'all.